We know what our goals are. We know what we hope to accomplish. And believe me, it's the most exciting and challenging assignment we've ever tackled at Walt Disney Productions.
Magic is calling us, calling us to the place where all of our dreams come true. The most magical place on earth. Answer the call.
Welcome back to Disney Marvels for week of October 17th, 2021. This is episode 152. Disney Marvels, the show about Disney, Marvel, Lucasfilm, Muppets, Pixar, 20th Century, the parks, and much, much more. If it has to do with Disney, it's fair game. I'm your host, Matthew Graken. Well, I'm back at it with the polls. I'm trying to get things back in moving again. So, I did 2 polls on the new shows, the Nighttime Spectaculars, at Walt Disney World. First one being Harmonious. And simply put, what did you think of Epcot's new show, Harmonious? You loved it? You enjoyed it? It was just okay? Or you didn't care for it? 15% of you enjoyed it. 15%. 23% said it was just okay. 24% said you didn't care for it at all. But 38%, just edging out, 38% of you loved it. That's good to hear. That, encouraged me. I'm sure most of us saw it on the live feed or through someone's feed. We weren't there in person, but I'm going to assume some of you were there in person and got to experience, from what I understand, that it is a lot more to experience in person, being you're in the right area. Something to keep in mind. You have to kind of be in the right area to line up with the giant, let's say, lack of a better term, the Stargate. That's what I've heard a lot of people calling it. And if you ever saw the Stargate TV shows or movies, that's what it looks like. The giant Stargate circle that a lot of the projections are on. Moving on to that, the second poll. What did you think of the Magic Kingdom's new show, Enchantment? And you loved it, either it was enjoyable, or not at all. This one kind of caught me by surprise. And it just, I think the most people have voted on this poll than any of the other ones that we've had so far. 2% loved it. 7% found it enjoyable. 11% said, eh. And the overwhelming majority of 80% of voters, 80%, said not at all. Wow. I don't know what to say about that. And I'm sure Disney is doing their due diligence and their research and getting their feedback. I've seen a lot of comments. Some people love it. Apparently 2% of people love it. And not that, my polls is a huge sample size or really completely indicative of every Disney fan's thoughts. But it's a sample size. It is a small sample size. And, not 80% of you not enjoying Enchantment. In some of the comments, I could see why, and I could see where you're going. And maybe if this was at some other point in time, on some other night, for no particular reason at all, meaning you take out the 50th anniversary celebration, would people have liked it more? I'll just leave you with that thought. And on that bombshell, we'll be back after these words from our friends and sponsors. And now, on with the show. October 1st, 1971. The day the Magic Kingdom officially opened its gates in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida area for the first time. I wasn't sure how to do this show. And I had several ideas of things to do, but nothing to me spoke 50th anniversary. So there are shows that I will bring to you throughout this 50th anniversary celebration. Remember, this celebration goes on for 18 months. At least through the next year, we could talk about the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World. Why limit it to just one day, 1 month? It's not every day that a place like Walt Disney World turns 50. I mean, that is a huge, remarkable milestone and is definitely worth something celebrating for a while. Obviously, Disney thinks this, that's why they're doing it. I mean, if anybody knows how to throw a party, it's Disney. They don't throw 2-month parties, 3-month parties. They throw parties that last years. And that's a good thing. But getting back to this. So, I just want to talk about my feelings towards Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom. I know I've spoken about some of this stuff before, and some of it may come up again, and rightfully so. This is stuff that sometimes cannot be stated enough about Walt Disney World, or Disney parks in general, but I'm focusing in on Walt Disney World, and their level of difference. It's the only word I could think of. What makes them different than some other park? I've gone to a number of amusement parks, theme parks, whatever they want to call themselves. And I'm not saying that they're bad. They're not Disney. And there truly is a Disney difference. This is something that the company started saying a while ago, and I have to agree with them because there truly is a difference. And the difference isn't just how they build something, the money that they spend on it, but it also is the people that work there. It's the people that go there. It's a package. And that's what truly makes a place like Walt Disney World different. It's the people who go there to get away, to go on vacation, to escape, to, like people like me, could do research for podcasts or vlogs or whatever, but people who go there for Disney, to go to Walt Disney World or to the Disney parks. The employees who work there, that, let's be honest, and I've worked for Disney, so I could say this firsthand. They're not necessarily they're going to give you the biggest paycheck out there. And the people who work there generally know that. They're not there to just collect a paycheck. They're there, yes, to get paid, of course, it's a job. But they are there also to contribute to the magic. One would say it's kind of like a teacher. You know, the teachers generally don't get paid for what they do. They should be, a lot of teachers are underpaid. And I'm not going to get into a debate about that. But they are there, majority of them, are there to enlighten the children, are there to broaden the mind, to bring an experience to the kids. And that's kind of like how cast members are. They're there to bring magic to you and your family while you are there in the vacation kingdom of the world, Walt Disney World, and all the other Disney parks. But again, focusing in on Walt Disney World. So those cast members are there to put a smile on your face, to help you experience a better vacation, even if it's just selling you a Mickey bar of ice cream. The smile on that cast member's face, the way that they present themselves is different than going to some other places where they are there for a paycheck. They are just kind of whatever. Just want to get over and done with. When you walk into an attraction, those people are part of that attraction, part of that story that's being sold there. And again, just like anywhere else, sometimes you get ones that are much better at their job than others. But it's truly that Disney difference that makes this place so special and stand out. For me, there's nothing more magical than walking down Main Street or walking into one of the parks and hearing the music and seeing the hustle and bustle of the people. And the anticipation of what the day is going to hold. You have an idea of things that you would like to do, places that you'd like to go, food that you'd like to eat. But that anticipation of being able to do that you're actually there. And you're going to be able to go Rise of the Resistance, Haunted Mansion, Flight of Passage, Test Track, any of those, Soaring. You'd be able to go on some of these rides and experience something. And you get to experience either by yourself, with a loved one, with your family. And it's again, I don't feel that in other places. Now maybe you do. Maybe you do. I mean, I have Six Flags Great Adventure nearby me. I get excited for some of the rides. Yeah, cool. I'll go on this roller coaster or whatever again. But it's definitely nowhere near the same. I'll go to Hershey Park. I love Hershey Park. It's fantastic. It is just so nice there. But it's not Disney. It's not Disney World. And that's what I'm saying. There's many other places out there that you can go on rides and you can go on attractions, and they may be some really good rides. They may even have rides that are better than Walt Disney World's. I'll say it. There's places that may have rides that a ride or two rides or whatever, better than a ride at Walt Disney World's. Oh, this place's Haunted Mansion is so much better than Walt Disney World's. That's fine. It's quite possible. But is it as magical? Does it bring you in from the moment that you enter that queue line? And you're in the story at that point. Especially, like I said, with the cast members, the way that they dress, the way that they act. Tower of Terror is a wonderful example of that. And so is Haunted Mansion, where these cast members rig into a role. Rise of the Resistance. The cast members walking around as First Order officers and make comments to such that, not that they're talking down to you, but they point things out, and they play their role well. You don't get that elsewhere. You truly don't get that kind of experience. That's why I say the cast members. And again, like I said, when I walk into a park, I know that's what I should expect, because that's what has been delivered for 50 years now. 50 plus years, technically. This is what the parks have delivered. And there's just that special feeling. I feel it. My kids feel it. My wife feels it. when you're there, the rest of the world kind of goes off in the background. You don't forget about the rest of the world. There's too much going on nowadays and too many ways to be connected for you to truly forget about what's happening in the rest of the world. But there's enough magic in that little space of Florida that makes you forget for a while. You don't have to. If you don't want to, you can leave that all behind. And that's okay there. They'll take care of you. You just come here, have a good time, have some food, go on some rides, go shopping. You don't want to do any of that? You just want to walk around and just soak up the atmosphere? You could do that too. You make it what you want to make it. A lot of people are about the rides, and I get that. For a while, that was me too. I completely get that you're there for the rides. Some people now just go for the food because they've expanded way more than just a chicken sandwich or a cheeseburger. You can go shopping. There's some really nice merchandise and stuff that you can find there and buy there, between watches and paintings and ceramics, toys, clothing. You name it, they have something. The pins. It's someplace that keeps evolving. Walt said, "I never want this to be a museum." And he was talking about Disneyland there. But that philosophy moves forward beyond Disneyland to all the parks. And as much as us, the guests who go there, who get upset that Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is no longer in the Magic Kingdom of Florida, or that Maelstrom has gone away, or so has World of Motion. We don't have the original Figment ride anymore. I miss them too. But I have to say, I do enjoy Test Track more than the World of as fun as World of Motion was. Test Track is just added a new layer to something. And Test Track in itself has evolved since it opened in the late 90s. These things have to keep changing and keep evolving, because otherwise it becomes stale. Oh, well, I don't need to go on this ride because it'll be there next time, and it was there last time, and I've ridden it 50 times. It needs to keep evolving. It is basically a living thing. It needs to keep growing and changing and evolving to keep itself relevant, keep itself new, keep itself worthy of going back time and time and time again. Again, I bring up the example, and I'm not knocking it. This is just an easy comparison that the Great Adventure near my house is. They don't do that. Once they'll put in a new roller coaster once every year or so. But as a parent, with little kids, for my teenage daughter, that's fine. If she wants to go on the roller coaster, there's a roller coaster for her. But my boys, who are younger, cannot go on most rides. They have outgrown the little rides, but they haven't grown into the big rides. What is there for them to do there? So why do I bother going back? And it doesn't change that much. Disney is someplace that I know I could take my family, and there's more than just a handful of things. And the kids' rides aren't just for the kids, and the adult rides aren't just for the adults. The kids' rides are still designed for everybody. The adult rides are designed pretty much for everybody. Now, of course, there's some exceptions. Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm talking to you. Where the height restriction, there's justification for the height restriction, so not everybody can go on it. Tower of Terror is not too far off on that either. It does have a slightly higher height restriction, But it is something that majority of the people can go on. It tells a good story, and you can go on that type of stuff, and the family, for the most part, can go on it. But if not, there's rides like Seven Doors Mine Train. It's a roller coaster, but it's not. There's that difference in that again, majority of the time, the family can enjoy it. Peter Pan, a rickety old ride, as some people may say, that's been there for 50 years and hasn't really changed much. They've updated some of the technology. They've put some stuff here and there, freshened up paint job or whatnot. But that ride that has been there for 50 years has lines longer now than it did 50 years ago. Because people enjoy it. Because, there's that something special about it. It is such a nice, calm ride that the entire family, it's not the latest special effects, it's not going super fast, it's not got loops. It is a classic Disney dark ride on an omnimover vehicle that just moves throughout the show scenes. But that's kind of what makes it special. Is that it is this classic, this just nice, entertaining ride that you escape for a few minutes to Neverland. You're there with Peter Pan and Captain Hook, and you and your family, whoever you're with, can have a good time. This brings me to my next idea. It's iconic. Walt Disney World truly has become an iconic place. It is, like I said before, the vacation kingdom of the world. More people go to vacation at Walt Disney World than anywhere else in the world. More than Vegas, more than Paris, more than so many other areas. The Caribbean. Walt Disney World's also the wedding capital of the world, the honeymoon capital of the world. All sorts of people go there for one reason or another. That is iconic. You see that castle. You can see a silhouette of it. Most people know what it is. I find it funny now. I'm guilty of this at a younger age, but I've learned my lesson. A lot of people can't tell you the difference between Disneyland or Disney World. They'll say Disneyland's in Florida and Disney World's the California one. But they know of the one in Florida. Even if they've never been there, they know about it. And they know how much people talk about it. It is truly a place like nowhere else. Because it's almost reached the point of being mythical. It's spoken about in such a way, or has such a presence, that doesn't completely seem like it could be real. Maybe that's me. Maybe that's me when I get there and I'm coming down the road on, well, you used to come down the road on the Magical Express or in a rental car, and there's the gateway. And that gateway transports you. Because you're no longer in the hustle and bustle of the rest of the world. You're in a place that you create your own hustle and bustle. Like I said, if you want to be the type to go, I must hit this ride, I must be at the parks at rope drop and this and that, and doing this, and this must be done, and I must ride soaring 15 times or else I will not be happy. That's on you. That's on you. That's not something that the parks put on you. So, if you don't get to ride soaring 15 times, don't blame Disney World for that. But it is iconic in a way that, like I said, even people who haven't been there know of it. And they could tell you stuff about it. They could have their own opinions, but they could tell you, if you mention, the Magic Kingdom, or you mention Epcot, before the 80s. I mean, Walt had used that word in the 60s. And a lot of people didn't know what that was. And it really didn't catch on. But when they built a park in 81 and called it Epcot, and that term entered the vernacular of the collective world over time. Now people you say Epcot, they think of Epcot, the property in Walt Disney World, the park there, with the giant golf ball. It's also a place that I find serenity. Matthew, how do you find serenity when there's 50,000 people around you that you don't know, and it's during August and they're hot and sweaty and you're hot and sweaty and there's madness and kids are crying and prices of hot dogs are going up and pretzels are drying out? How is that serenity? I'll tell you. I don't know. But that's what I feel. I enter that magic kingdom. And people out there. I'm picking an arbitrary number, but 97, let's say, percent of people out there. You walk into that, particularly the Magic Kingdom. You go under those railroad tracks. And you make that turn to go right down and look down the center of Main Street, USA. And you see Cinderella's castle. Tell me someone who does not usually stop at some point in awe, or hasn't stopped at some point in awe, and look at that. And the look on little kids' eyes, the looks on people who are there for the first time. Look at the person who's traveled from Asia, Europe, who's this been a life goal, and they're there for the first time. A look on a parent's face when their kids see that for the first time. It is something that inspires hope, inspires peace, inspires ideas, dreams. It is not something that you find in too many places. There's 1,000 people in front of you, walking up and down Main Street, getting their pictures taken, buying balloons. But for that brief moment, they're not there. It's you in that castle. Sometimes at night, after the fireworks, or after the nighttime show, or whatever it is. And the park is closed. None of the rides are open, and people are walking out. And you just look around. It is such a beautiful sight. It's such a peaceful sight. And sometimes that type of stuff stays with you. On this last trip, we were on our last day in the parks at the studios. We were walking out. There wasn't too many people left in the park. I saw... We were in Galaxy's Edge, walking out right after Rise of the Resistance. There's a small set of people there and a photographer. And a man proposed to his girlfriend. Could have done it anywhere else in the world. They wanted to do it in Galaxy's Edge. And they had the photographer there to capture the moment. And it was beautiful. I don't know them, but I got to be a part of that. And I got to share in their happiness. A couple feet later, I'm down on Hollywood Boulevard, right in front of the theater. And I look around, there's very few other people there. And it's just spectacular. That few hours ago, that place was packed with people. In several more hours, it'll be packed with people again. But for that brief moment, it's like I had the entire park to myself. And that even when that park is crazy, I think of those times. And I don't... The craziness can be overwhelming. But at the same time, I find it like a weird, peaceful chaos. And again, maybe that's just me. But it is fun to sit and people watch. And to me, that is a sort of relaxing type of thing. All this stuff and chaos is going on, and I'm just there enjoying myself. And that brings up my final thing, that the place inspires hope. You could look forward, count down to your vacation, and hope of anticipation of everything that's going to be there. And just if you, it's kind of like you have the commercials, but the commercials draw from real life, and they've actually shown clips. At one point, they were doing a campaign where they had clips of real people telling family members, "You're going to Disney World, we're going to Disneyland." And the excitement that comes across on people's faces because of the hope and the excitement, and again, the serenity, the iconic, the magic, the evolution of the place, all does exist. And it's not just me who sees it. It's a lot of you. I mean, most likely, if you're listening to this, you kind of get it. That there's a hope of a better tomorrow. There's a hope of things to come. I will go as far as to say that Walt Disney World is a place that the rest of the world should take a page from. Particularly, let's say Epcot. When Epcot is the way that it normally runs. You have people from all different nations working together in peace and as a family. And this is the rest of the parks too. It doesn't matter who you... Well, as long as you're not some sort of criminal with a record and... but an average person. Doesn't matter of their race, religion, identification, whatever. You are welcome there. It's a place that also inspires working together. It inspires peace. Now you're going to have your crazed guests and people that have issues. Things don't always go right. And that's something that kind of is a standard. Things may go wrong, and they often do. But they will try to make it right. And the ways of trying to make it right. Within means, of course. They can't pay for your vacation, per se, as much as maybe you think they should. Things will go wrong. Things go wrong in life every day. And you deal with it. Now, granted, life doesn't always come with the price tag of a vacation at Walt Disney World. But that aside, if you don't let that ruin your trip, you are going to walk away with memories that you will hold probably for the rest of your life. I remember memories from some of my earliest trips. I don't remember my first trips. But I do remember some trips from early 80s, and it was always a special time. And being able to do those things at that place with my family, and everyone enjoyed it. Everyone was happy. And it's kind of a hope that I have with my family as I share these experiences with them, in that these are memories that my kids will carry with them and for them through the rest of their lives. Hope also. I want to bring up under hope that the Give the Kids the World project, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. This is a place that they bring kids to show them hope, to let them forget about the ugly truths of the world that kids should not have to deal with, but unfortunately at times they do, for one reason or another. Kids and their families are brought here to get away and experience happiness in sometimes life's darkest and scariest moments. And I can't think of a better place for a kid and their family, or a family in general, to go and be happy, to forget about a few words or a few actions or something that's been dealt to them in life during their time there. It doesn't carry the same weight, because the magic of Disney, of Walt Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, outweighs it for that brief period of time. This is not the direction I was planning on going in, but what does Walt Disney World mean to you? What kind of things do you experience or you feel, or what words come to mind when you think of Walt Disney World? Let us know. Join the conversation on our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Disney Marvels Podcast, or join us also on Instagram at Disney Marvels Podcast, TikTok at Disney Marvels Podcast, and on the Twitter at Disney Marvels. Don't forget to also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can leave a voice message for us through the Anchor app and or website, or record it on your electronic device and email it to us at disneymarvels@gmail.com. You could also email us any questions or suggestions you may have to that address as well. Don't forget to check out the latest Disney Marvels blog whenever I get back to writing those, but check out what I've written already. You can find the blog at disneymarvels.blogspot.com. Links to all of these are in the show notes. I want to thank you for your time. I know how little time we all have. I have that problem too, hence why this episode is coming out several weeks later than I would have liked it to. So when I say I know how difficult life can be in finding time to do stuff, and I appreciate the time that you're taking, I know firsthand because I have difficulties keeping my schedule straight and getting things done. And here I am being able to finally record it and bring it to you, and you finally sitting down and listening to it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Please be sure to tell your friends, your family, leave a review on iTunes, the Apple Podcast, because that helps spread the word. We have all 5-star reviews at the moment. I'm truly over the moon about that. I thank you so much. Please keep it going. The more reviews that we have, the more people you can send it out to. The more people that join this Disney family, the bigger it is. Walt believed in a big Disney family, so do I. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're at it. This way you always know when new episodes are posted. While you're at it, consider becoming a premium subscriber to help the show out. You can do this over at anchor.fm/DisneyMarvels/support, or you can also find our Patreon page. You could also check out our merchandise shop. Get some fun Disney Marvel stuff there. I just got myself a new jacket from there, and it is so comfortable. It's one of those sweat jackets, like a hoodie jacket. Yeah, basically a hoodie. And I have like the retro logo on it, and it's so comfortable. On these now colder fall days, it's great, and I've got a number of compliments from it too. And it's you put it on, you don't want to take it off. It really good material, really good quality. This is from TeePublic. So Check it out. Get yourself some stuff there. Tell me what you think of it. Whatever you guys are facing out there, whatever kind of darkness and trouble is bothering you, you are not alone. Don't feel ashamed to ask for help. Be your own hero. Don't give up. Don't give in. You are special. You are wonderful. The world is a better place with you in it. Don't ever forget that. Choose the good and keep moving forward. Now, I'd like to end this show with a quote. I always end it with a quote from Walt Disney. Today is going to be a different one. A quote from Roy O. Disney from October 25th, 1971, the dedication speech of the Magic Kingdom. Walt Disney World is a tribute to the philosophies and the life of Walter Elias Disney, and to the talents and dedication and the loyalty of the entire Disney organization that made Walt Disney's dream come true. May Walt Disney World bring joy and inspiration and new knowledge to all who come to this happy place, a magic kingdom where the young at heart of all ages can laugh and play and learn together. Again, that's Roy O. Disney on the dedication of Walt Disney World. Thank you again for listening, everyone, and I'll see you next time.
This concept here will have to be something that is unique, and so that there is a distinction between Disneyland in California and whatever Disney does. I notice I didn't say Disneyland in Florida. Whatever Disney does in Florida. And we have many ideas. I have a wonderful staff now that have had 10 years experience of designing, planning, and operating.